Hayes is transcendent. It's a place where you know what you're going to get, you know what you're coming in for, you know that the results are going to be amazing.
And we are live in the Bronx, Cardinal Hayes High School. It is senior day, as two of the Cardinals will be on display for the final time in the regular campaign, and they will collide with Earl Monroe Academy out of the Charter School Athletic Association. It's the final regular season game for Cardinal Hayes, and it's coming up right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us alongside Andrew Deloya. I'm Lance Meadow, and this is quite the matchup to wrap up the regular season, Andrew, because Cardinal Hayes is now playing its 5th game in the last 6 days. They've been extremely battle-tested, but Earl Monroe Academy is 20-4 on the year, and they have a notable win over Bayshore.
Yeah, that Bayshore's a good team out of Long Island. That's a great win for Earl Monroe. Hayes is heating up at the right time. They've won 13 of 15. It's going to be an exciting matchup on senior night, and looking forward to honoring Malik Fields and Nas Campbell.
Absolutely, and that brings us to the impact players of the game, and we're going to start with the road team for Earl Monroe Academy. This is a balanced attack. 4 players are averaging double figures in scoring on the season, but we will highlight 2 of them, and you have Elijah Washington on the left. You see his numbers, 10 points per game. He also leads the team in assists and steals. And then Usman Bayako, who is averaging 15 a game to go along with his 4 rebounds, adds length and athleticism to their lineup. On Cardinal Hayes' side, it's all about their 2 seniors, and it is Malik Fields and Nas Campbell who will be suiting up for the final time in this building in the regular season. Fields is their top scorer, though was held in check, only 6 points in the loss at Holy Cross on Sunday. And then Nas Campbell, who's a rim rocker. We have seen so many athletic plays that he has made en route to the basket as he chips in with 3.5 points and 3 rebounds per game. We had an opportunity to catch up with Joe Lodes, the head coach of Cardinal Hayes, and Jared Rivers, the head man for Earl Monroe Academy, as they walked us through the keys to the game. And Andrew, I'll let you take over to run through these highlights.
Yeah, Coach Rivers obviously knows what Hayes has in their guard play. He wants to contain those electric guards from Hayes. He wants to limit his turnovers. He's going against a really tough Hayes press. And then obviously, easier said than done, win the battle in the paint. When you're going against guys like Amadou Barry, that's a tough task. For Hayes, they want to play with energy. Like you said, they've played 5 games in 6 days. They've played 7 in 10 days. This is about bringing the energy and managing the emotions of senior night after a tough stretch of games. They want to apply their great defensive pressure, get some easy buckets, and then, like they always do, attack the glass and make the shots that'll make Coach Lodes happy.
It's a matter of whether or not Earl Monroe can solve the full court press that Cardinal Hayes showcases, because we've seen a lot of opponents get down early as a result of the inability to protect the basketball.
Yeah, and even when the game is even, Hayes can explode at any time and go on an 8, 10, 12-point run. So that's really the question mark, and Coach Rivers needs to address that and maybe call a quick timeout if it starts to happen.
Quite the scene here in the Bronx, and it is senior day. You see all of the Cardinal Hayes players showcasing T-shirts, which has Malik Fields and Nas Campbell on it, as they are taking in what has been really, Andrew, a great atmosphere throughout the entire season to be here and broadcast all of their home games.
Yeah, the student section at Hayes rivals any school in the Catholic League. The people in this building have been so welcoming to us and to our crew and our staff. And, this is the last broadcast. We're not going to get too sentimental, but it's been a great marriage between Varsity Media and Cardinal Hayes this year.
And you went over what Joe Lodes told us prior to this game, but the other component for them is try to start playing your best basketball, which you already highlighted as you enter the postseason. And they're looking to bounce back. They fell to Holy Cross on Sunday. It was a low-scoring game, Andrew, to their standards, and they were 3 of 23 from downtown. So how they start this game, and I think how the offense flows, is going to tell us an awful lot about what's going to come here moving forward.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it from just a little bit of a different angle. I think that loss to Holy Cross may be a very good thing for this basketball club heading into the playoffs. I think it's statistically insignificant. They've won 13 of 15. I think they're peaking at the right time, and that's just kind of like this weird subset because of how many games they've played in such a short amount of time.
It's been like an NBA-esque type of schedule
Yeah.
for Joe Lodes. He doesn't shy away from making sure that this team is battle-tested in the late stages of the season. So we'll step aside as we gear up for Cardinal Hayes and Earl Monroe Academy. The starting lineups and the opening tip coming up next right here from the Bronx on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
My second base language was Spanish. La cultura es todo. La cultura de Cardinal Hayes define el éxito. What I just said right now is that when you think about a Hayesman, you think of excellence. Excellence is culture, and that's what we're about.
Keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And here he comes again. Off the backboard! Are you serious?
Daly tries another three. That one's good. One from the left corner, now from the right. Daly's on fire with 10 points in the opening quarter.
Loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
And we are back here in the Bronx, Cardinal Hayes High School, as we get closer to tip-off. Regular season finale between Cardinal Hayes and Earl Monroe Academy as they honored both seniors moments ago, Nas Campbell as well as Malik Fields. Let's take you through the starting five for the visitors. The Knights, as I mentioned, they have 4 players averaging double figures on the season. Hector Sosa, 7 rebounds. He's a Swiss Army knife. Jaden Manhe is a junior forward who's 3rd on the team in scoring with 11 points. Usman Bayako, we highlighted off the top. He's their top scorer. Then you look at Deshaun Wilson, who is their captain, chipping in with 5 points and 4 rebounds. As the head coach of Earl Monroe is Jared Rivers. He's in his first season with the team after serving on the JV staff the last 3 years, and he's had quite the playing career. LIU Post his first 2 years, and then he was with Adelphi on Long Island in the last 2 years. Let's go over to Cardinal Hayes' side and take you through their starting five. Joe Lodes is mixing it up a little bit, only because it's senior day. Nas Campbell and Malik Fields, given they are their 2 seniors on the roster, and then Hector Almodovar, Emmanuel Romero, and Amadou Barry will round out the 5, as Barry's 2nd on the team at scoring with 15 points. Romero's provided a spark as of late off the bench, and Almodovar is their nifty point guard who is exchanging about 5 dimes per contest with his teammates. And Joe Lodes, in his 17th season as the head man, has done a magnificent job with the program, as his win streak has been impressive. Over the course of this year, they've had more than just flashes, and then you look at the fact that he's got 356 victories on the season and looking to knock on the door eventually of 400 before you know it, as we have tip-off approaching here. The officials, Brian Welsh, Adam Francis, and Andre Florent. As Cardinal Hayes is 16-7 on the season, and Earl Monroe at 20-4. They have been battle-tested this year. Their 4 losses coming to Long Island Lutheran, St. Mary's, Half Hollow Hills East, and the Stony Brook School, which Cardinal Hayes defeated earlier this season. So we have Bayako trying to test Fields there at center court, as he'll take over here on the first possession for the Knights, and that bank shot does not roll his way. Campbell still fighting for it, and Cardinal Hayes gets the defensive stop. Barry trying to pound his way inside. A near tie-up here The ball rolls out of play, and they're going to say that it was last touched by Earl Monroe, so we're seeing the intensity rise here right out of the gates. They put up 52 points at Holy Cross on Sunday, so Cardinal Hayes offense looking to get off to a great start here. Barry tightly guarded by Manhe. The pull-up jumper is up and in, and Cardinal Hayes gets on the board first.
All year round, Amadou Barry's been hitting that 15-footer. He can display that jump shot at the next level. He's going to be a very happy college coach somewhere in the country.
As he has an offer from Quinnipiac already, could be reuniting with that man, Malik Fields, who draws the contact, but there's a travel prior to that, and I'll give the ball back to the Knights.
Here comes that defensive full court pressure from Cardinal Hayes, as you see Almodovar and Fields pick up in the full court. Naz Campbell just makes this press even better with his athleticism and his ability to defend.
Quick release here by Washington, and a long rebound goes into the hands of Wilson. He's squeezed in between a pair of defenders, trying to settle down here, and then coughs it up to Almodovar. So Cardinal Hayes off to the races. Campbell turns and fires and lays it in to make it 4-0.
Yeah, Almodovar has 2.5 steals per game on the year. He dug in on the post, got a steal, and then did what he does all year round and get that assist to Mr. Campbell. And here's the answer from Monroe, Lance.
Yeah, that comes in the form of Manhe. A much-needed bucket to cut the deficit to 1. And underneath, Romero pounds it in plus the foul, so he'll have a chance to complete the three-point play.
It's nice to see Romero. I mean, he's been a role player the whole year. You see here, Malik Fields sees him down court. Romero catches, turns, looks, little ball fake, absorbs the contact and the finish. You like to see that from the junior guard.
Yeah, the bench has been very impressive for Cardinal Hayes as of late. Czech Sam has had 2 quality games in the last 3 contests. You put Romero in the mix too, as he comes in 4 for 4 from the line this season.
Yeah, Lance, when you think back to earlier in the year, Joe Lodes was platooning 5 guys at a time to get them the experience they needed to be ready for games like this and the playoffs.
And Manhe is going to have a chance at yet another 3-point play as he returns the favor down on the other end.
Yeah, you see here, great dish from Bayako to his partner Manhe with the lefty finish. Jaden Manhe in a game against Bayshore earlier this year, Lance, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. This game took place on January 30th, 71-57 victory over Bayshore. Big win for Earl Monroe.
Jared Rivers called that the biggest defining win of the season as Earl Monroe takes it away, and they're looking to push. Man, he's been a one-man show, and a rare miss for him. So the fast break continues off the Euro feed, and Campbell draws contact underneath, and he is going to earn a trip to the line.
That is when Cardinal Hayes is at their best. You see here the quick outlet to Campbell, the Euro step, draws the contact from Bayako, and that's a big foul. When you draw a foul against the other team's best player early in the game, it's more than just the free throws and the points.
Especially since they add up early and could come back to haunt you later in the game. Campbell, who knocked down his first, he's just 22% on the season from the line, but he puts that average to the back burner by making both.
And you know what I'm going to say? It worked in reverse there. You jinxed them the other way.
Correct, exactly. See, sometimes it does pay to throw out the statistics.
Exactly.
Even though the viewers maybe disagree. We're only doing our jobs as broadcasters. We're here to inform. As that bank shot too hard off the glass for Chase Henry, who just checked in. And Cardinal Hayes now is going to try to work it around the perimeter. Campbell off the mark. And the ricochet was last touched by the Knights. It will stay with the Cardinals.
I'll tell you, Naz Campbell has not been shy on senior night. The trainer's going to have an ice pack for his elbow.
Well, that man can get up. We've seen it all season long.
I'm talking about for how many shots he's taken.
Oh, okay, well, I thought you were talking about the leaping ability, too. He has attacked the rim with authority.
Earl Monroe snaps into a 2-3 on the baseline out of bounds play, and they stay in it. Great cross-court look to Fields.
Fields backing his way down. The triple team did not get a clean release, and off a deflection, it's a hot potato, and Fields is going to set up his fellow senior, and Campbell cannot capitalize, but Romero keeps them in business. Almodovar shuffles it underneath. The block from behind and the foul drawn underneath as Malik has been relentless in that area.
Malik Fields is one of the most underrated offensive rebounders. You see Almodovar getting to the teeth of the defense. Fields attempts a lefty finish, sticks with it, and draws the contact. He's averaging 9 rebounds a game from the guard position.
He's so good at cleaning up his own miss. And by the way, Bayako came in from behind, and that's already 2 early ones on him, and that was something you pinpointed earlier in the broadcast.
Yeah, if you're Coach Rivers and you see number 10 get 2 fouls early in the game, it's something that could keep you up at night. It also changes the way he has to play defense right now, and it looks like Coach Rivers is going to stick with him.
Especially since he is their top scorer and has been an anchor for the program. He spent 2 of his first 3 years. In between, he transferred to Scanlon, and that is a nice scooping attempt there by Elijah Washington, as we've had a lot of fouls in the early stages because both teams are not shying away from getting to the rim.
Yeah, and when fouls pile up in a game like this, it's advantage Hayes because of their deep bench. And if the officials are calculating equality on the foul count, it works in Hayes' favor always because they can just go a little deeper than most teams.
So Earl Monroe is now 0 for 2 from the line today. Washington, he's been in the program all 3 years, served as the starting point guard on JV last year. So there's a sign of development for Jared Rivers as he's tried to keep this nucleus together.
Yeah, and he calls Elijah Washington his quarterback on the floor. He's a poised, solid point guard, really good defender.
Campbell, the scoop shot attempt. Here's Barry, gets tied up or a foul. We're going to get a jump ball as 3 defenders were in the vicinity, including Manhe.
Now, Lance, we've covered a lot of Cardinal Hayes games this year. They do such a good job on their baseline out-of-bounds sets. You see Monroe's in a 2-3 zone right now, and the way they execute coming out of the play is great. You see it right here. That was intended to be an alley-oop. He could have gotten 3 points on the pass.
He nearly did. And from the corner, a difficult shot does not fall for Earl Monroe. And back the other way, Cardinal Hayes spreading the wealth here. The extra pass to Fields as he dials it up from long range, and that is his first make of the day.
That has been his spot all year. And Lance, there you see the student section. They stole your costume out of the car, and they are wearing it now.
And Elijah Washington is able to roll it home as the pace now starting to pick up as he gets his first bucket. And it's been a back-and-forth affair, and that is going to help perhaps the cause of the Knights. Manhe out in transition, dumps it underneath, and an easy lay-in there for Bayako. So 2 of the starting 5 cashing in on an easy look.
Yeah, and good move by Coach Rivers, shifting to a zone. Bad move by Coach Rivers, switching to a zone.
As that's not going to stop Fields from getting his second triple.
No, the zone did a good job on the last couple possessions, just taking Hayes out of rhythm. But when you have a guy like Malik Fields, a zone breaker, guys like Yancey who can shoot it, Christian Brown, who we'll see in a little bit coming in off the bench.
As Earl Monroe's going to make some changes here, you've got Washington in with Bayako, Wilson, Sosa, as Barry puts up the 3. And rounding out the crew is Qatar Johnson.
And for Hayes, Bryce Yancey checked in for Emmanuel Romero.
And Yancey was their leading scorer in the loss at Holy Cross on Sunday with 13. Long rebound goes into the hand of Almodovar off the miss from Sosa. And back the other way, the man that Andrew just highlighted, Yancey, picks up where he left off.
Yeah, Bryce Yancey in that last game, as you said, 13 points, 4 of 7 from 2, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He was the only scorer in double digits on that night, and that's very unlike Cardinal Hayes.
Because Fields was held to 6 as Almodovar navigates traffic in the lane. He's short, and he is able to be in the right place at the right time. Fields misfires, and here comes Sosa, wisely handing it off to Washington, who's going to draw the bump from Yancey for his first personal. So each team has 3 personals. Campbell's going to take a breather, and Christian Brown will see his first action. Brown's a usual starter, but given it's senior day, He's going to come in off the bench. Brown looking to bounce back. He was 0 for 8 from the field and 0 for 6 from downtown in their last game.
Yeah, Christian Brown is so vital to what Cardinal Hayes attempts to do. His ability to shoot the basketball changes the way other teams play defense, and it's critical that he gets going for this team just to give them another added weapon.
Well, he facilitates here to Yancey, but he can't get the bounce, and Fields tries the heads-up play to throw it off the defender, and instead it leads to Sosa putting it up from downtown, and the long rebound tracked down from him. Here's Henry. Good look after good look, but Earl Monroe can't find the bottom of the net, and they finally do with Qatar Johnson, the transfer from Cardinal Hayes, who is back in his own backyard.
Yeah, Qatar Johnson, you know he was excited to see that go down against his former club. You see here, Chase Henry with the shot. Ball is kept alive by Johnson. Great pivot and a finish with the righty floater. And that timeout by Coach Lodes is a teaching opportunity for him to talk to his team about defensive rebounding.
And a reminder that Cardinal Hayes High School is committed to providing an outstanding faith-based college preparatory education that prepares young men for success in college and beyond. Your support of tuition assistance ensures that every student has access to rigorous academics, strong mentorship, and life-changing opportunities. By scanning this code that you see on the screen, you are making a direct impact on the future of our students and our community. Thank you for your generous donation to Cardinal Hayes High School today.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier in the broadcast some of those big wins that Earl Monroe had. That Bayshore win was the one that Coach Rivers highlighted, but they also beat Loyola, Rye Country Day, Horace Mann, and Uncommon Prep. Those are some good basketball schools.
And that's a big reason why they've piled up 20 victories, trailing by 5 here and showcasing that 2-3 zone. As Cardinal Hayes patiently working it around the perimeter, and it leads to a high percentage look for Amadou Barry.
That was an incredible look by Hector Almodovar. Christian Brown drew so much attention in the corner. Almodovar gave a little ball fake and hit the big man and rewarded the big man for good position.
Henry effectively breaks down the press. Washington, the runner. Barry may have gotten a piece of it, and Brown is piling up the rebounds and the assists as Yancey spots up straight away. And you had a pair of teammates fighting for the ball, so Malik Fields is in the perfect place to add yet another field goal.
Mr. Consistency, Mr. Fields has done it all year round.
Malik now has 9 points on the day. He's knocking on the door of double digits. As we see Wilson leave it for Washington, and Brown is up in his grill and a little too over-aggressive, as that is going to result in his first personal. So that'll be the team's fourth. We're going to see a pair of subs here for Earl Monroe as Bayako is back in, as well as Brandon Blodgett, 6'4" junior, who's a 3-level scorer.
Good substitution by Coach Rivers to get this man in on offense. I'm sure he had a little conversation with him saying, whatever you do, don't get a foul on the other end.
As he picked up 2 early ones. Yancey kicks it in the corner to Fields and ring that bad boy up as it's his 3rd trifecta of the afternoon.
Backspin follow-through rotation for Mr. Fields.
So Fields is in double figures with 12, and the defense forces yet another turnover.
Now, if I'm Coach Rivers, I'm getting Bayako out of the game on defense here with 18 seconds left, so he doesn't pick up foul number 3. He's got to be very careful here.
So the shot clock is off. Cardinal Hayes can hold for last licks here as Malik Fields has been lining up the scoreboard. Will they go back to their lethal weapon? 5 seconds to work with here for Brown. Fields off the curl, puts up the contested 3, and he nearly gets it to go. But what a first quarter for the home team as they put up 24 points, led by Malik Fields is 12, so of course we're going to show you some highlights. There's 1 triple, and yes, the student body, even the Cardinal, showing some signs of life here in the Bronx on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Cardinal Hayes saved my life. There's a school that gave me the second chance. I want all families to understand the investment that you're making in your life. This is a place in which you walk in as a little boy and come out as a man. One thing I can guarantee you is education. One thing I can guarantee you is that he will go to college, but one thing that I can guarantee you the most, that I'm most proud of, is of the man that he will become in the day of tomorrow. A pays and honest loyal man.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email Ben at varsitymedia.net.
Start of the second quarter here at Cardinal Hayes. Malik Fields scored 12 of his team's 24 in the first quarter here on Senior Day. And it'll be Earl Monroe basketball to start this second stanza. With the left hand, it is Blazin who drops it through to get on the board.
Coach Rivers calls him his athletic lefty. He's got a good mid-range game. He's a 3-level scorer.
And then Campbell is blocked by Bayako. So despite the 2 fouls, he's still being aggressive, and Washington will give it up here. The extra pass to Henry, and just did not put enough juice in that floater. But a steal nearly by Bayako, and they're going to say it went off of him last. So Bayako has had to walk that fine line, and he's doing it effectively thus far.
The zone helps a little bit, and
Yancey short.
The zone helps you a little bit in protecting foul trouble, but with a team like Hayes, they can get hot in a hurry. So Coach Rivers is in a difficult spot right now.
And if you're the Knights, you want to try to put together a stretch of buckets. Here is a good look for Washington, and they just cannot find the bullseye thus far. Brown from the corner, and do not let that man heat up, because he will make you pay. He missed all 8 shots on Sunday, and he knocks down his first here today.
That was a confident stroke from Mr. Brown, and when he gets hot, it's lights out. He's shooting over 35% on the year from three-point range, which is very good. Anything over 33% is good from 3. It's the same as 50% from 2. So Coach wants him taking those shots, has confidence in him. When he's open, he wants him to stroke it.
And he and Fields are now going back and forth for the 3-point lead. Brown knocks down his 49th. Fields is at 50. So we'll see how that plays out today.
I'm sure that's a conversation in the locker room after the game.
For bragging rights, of
For
course.
bragging rights. Both of those guys want the win, of course. They're not seeking 3-point glory. They would rather have the championship in their name.
Cone picked up the personal as he just entered and nearly comes up with the steal. Bayako wins the battle. And Earl Monroe trying to settle down, but that was off of Aiden Chin-Edwards, and this is where the turnovers are so costly when you play Cardinal Hayes.
Yeah, that was part of our pregame discussion with Coach Rivers. He wanted to limit those turnovers as much as possible. And every team says it when they're going against Hayes, but it's easier said than done.
Campbell way off the mark. And Bayako is going to run point here. As Chin-Edwards is blocked by Fields. What can Malik not do? And then as Yancey was fighting for the loose ball, a foul coming in here for Earl Monroe as Chin-Edwards was going for that loose ball. So that'll be number 1 on him. That's just the first of the second quarter. And with just over 6 minutes to go, Cardinal Hayes trying to pad its 13-point lead. Campbell has the baseline. The extra pass out to Brown. He's got 1-3, and give him another. Back-to-back trays for the sharpshooter.
I absolutely love that set by Cardinal Hayes. I love the fact that Almodovar initiated it. Suleiman Cone saw that his partner in crime, Christian Brown, was open, and he made the extra pass. That was wonderful basketball right there.
So they are having some battle royale, and Brown is doing it on defense. He leads Yancey to the bucket, and a foul here by Manhe as Yancey nearly collided with the Cardinal there, who was right around the vicinity. And there you see the Cardinal seems to be still standing, which is probably the biggest storyline to watch, more so than anything that the seniors are doing today.
Yeah, the Cardinal almost took a charge on Bryce Yancey.
Well, he has been having conversations, from what my sources tell me, with Joe Lodes behind closed doors about maybe trying out for the team next year.
Here we go. There he is right there, Mr. Cardinal. He wants to get into play. He wants to play. He wants to be a part of the action. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. There was actually 5 students sitting on the Cardinal Hayes bench during the walkthrough that asked me if I could ask Coach Loads if they could suit up tonight. I said, I just don't have the authority to do that, guys. I'd love to have you play.
It's competitive to make varsity here as Yancey hits both free throws after he was 5 of 7 on Sunday. Continues to execute on that front, and Cone is going to inbound here off the deflection. A dangerous pass. Washington picks the pocket of Yancey, stops, pops, and lays it in to turn defense into offense. So Washington has 5. Brown again from the corner. You gotta be kidding me. He's matching wits with Fields. They each have 3 trays. So Brown is up to 9, and that goes in and out for Blasian. So Brown is gonna lead the attack, and Cone tried to thread the needle there to Sam, and there just was not enough space. It'll stay, though, with Cardinal Hayes.
One of the things that Cardinal Hayes is doing a really good job of is they recognize that Brown has the hot hand, and they're making that extra pass, and they're hitting him in rhythm. And when you could feel when your teammates want you to shoot the ball, and that's a confidence boost for Christian Brown when he receives passes like that.
And you could say so much about his ability, Andrew, to put a rough game behind him. As we mentioned, he hit a shot, you could barely tell about his struggles at Holy Cross. Here's another great look, and even though it goes in, there was a whistle prior to the release. I'm sure he's going to be annoyed about that call.
Yeah, that foul worked against Hayes. They got Manhe away from the ball, and it took 3 points off the board.
So that's number 2 on Manhe.
See if they run the same set.
Well, we see on the opposite end of the
here
court,
comes the
Brown
alley.
setting a screen, and my goodness, Cone stuffing it home off the feed from Campbell. Who says the seniors need to do the heavy lifting? How about a sophomore?
Oh my God, Suleiman Cone rose to the sky to get that alley. That was Grant Hill-esque back in the day.
And then Bayako drawing the foul quickly back on the other end of the court, but still the talk of the town is Suleiman Cone, who has freakish athleticism. And he just added another to the highlight reel.
Look at that pass by Nas Campbell. He threw it right to the corner of the backboard where you're supposed to throw it. Suleiman Cone went up, slammed it home. Great execution by Cardinal Hayes.
Bayako to the line for the first time today. As Washington is going to take a seat, Henry back in for him. And he is able to make 1 of 2.
Wow, what a move by Yancey.
And Yancey just could not finish, so Henry lobs it up ahead to Sosa. And Henry throwing it away. Campbell is going to give Yancey a redo. Back to Campbell, and he lays down the hammer.
Wow, wow, 2 alley-oops from Mr. Campbell to his partners. Look at the student section, Lance.
They need a religious intervention. It's such a frenzy underneath.
Oh my gosh, look at this play. Yancey tosses it up to Mr. Campbell, who stuffs it home with the right hand. 2 alleys in 2 minutes.
And look at the crowd reaction. The student body may have leaped higher than Campbell on that one. And that causes a break in the action because I think we all need to recuperate after quite the offensive clinic. Suleiman Cone 1 and then Campbell the other, and that gives us an opportunity to remind you that you should not even click elsewhere if you want to see playoff action out of the Catholic League. Stay locked to the Varsity Media Sports Network as we are going to have every class imaginable and every round as we go to the late stages of February into early March. March Madness will be loud and clear here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And Cardinal Hayes is not disappointing here in the regular season finale, putting on quite the show on Senior Day.
You know, typically the 4 o'clock start can be a little quiet. Hayes has awoken the gym today, Lance.
They could have fooled us on that trend as Yancey gets a steal in the backcourt, and perhaps we've got an encore performance here coming. As Sam tried to save it. A loose ball. Yancey got another piece of it, and this is going to stay on Earl Monroe's side as Fields is going to return to give Cone a breather after he jumped through the ceiling of the gymnasium. And then we see some changes for Earl Monroe as Washington is going to lead the attack here and then loses it. So Brown tries to give it back to Yancey, and helter-skelter play ensues. Earl Monroe's got the numbers, and Washington could not get the shot off cleanly as all of a sudden the Cardinals swarmed in on him.
Yeah, check Sam, played on the freshman team last year. He's a freak athlete, excellent defender as you see him guarding the ball right now.
And he had a season-high 8 points in the loss at Holy Cross. He has really come to life as of late, and that means good things for Joe Loads to be able to turn to the bench as we see the ball deflected as Gibbs put it up. And this is a hot potato in action. Can we settle down in the microwave as that three-pointer off the mark for Bird? The putback attempt, no good. How about a third time? And it's finally a charm for Desmond Ugabala, their top rebounder. Yancey switches hands, and a little Jordan-esque action puts them over 40.
Good call, Lance, on that iconic finish from Mr. Jordan where he went across the net and finished with his left instead of his right.
That was at the expense of the Portland Trailblazers. This is the expense of the Knights of Earl Monroe. A little bit different, but hey, they're connected to the Pearl, and Yancey flushes it in with a beautiful mid-range jumper.
When you think about the plays that these underclassmen are making, you have two seniors on the roster, Malik Fields and Nas Campbell. The future is so bright for Cardinal Hayes.
I think the future is now, actually. I would add to that.
I don't want to talk about the future. This team could be extremely dangerous heading into the playoffs with the roster as it is right now. Let's stay in the present. Good call, Lance.
But it is fun to speculate. This man will not be here next season as Fields a little too hard off the glass. And right now, if you're the Knights, you want to try to settle down in the half court and get some good looks. And they get a second chance opportunity here, and there's a whistle before Blazin put it back up and in. That was another great second chance opportunity and rebound by Ugabala, who had the last basket.
Now Monroe snaps into a 2-2-1 just to try to take Hayes out of rhythm, dropping back into a trapping 2-3.
Yeah, this was
works.
last touch by Yancey, indeed. And Earl Monroe, keep in mind, has had about a week rest since their last game compared to 5 in the last 6 days for Cardinal Hayes, but you couldn't tell the difference. And here is Ugabala again, and this time Barry comes in to prevent the possession to continue.
What a pass.
Fields off the feed is going to head to the free throw line.
What a pass by Almodovar.
His court vision is just another level.
Yeah, and he's so unselfish. He doesn't try to do too much. He does exactly what the coaching staff asks him to do. Headmans the ball to this man, Malik Fields. Fields draws the foul.
Went against Blazin.
Now, Lance, Malik Fields shooting 49% from 2, 44% from 3, and 60% from the free throw line. You know, he's got such a good stroke, such a good free throw form. How he shoots free throws is going to matter come playoff time.
And Fields makes 1 of 2, but it goes right back to him as he is just as effective as a rebounder and a scorer, something that you had talked about earlier in the broadcast. And we're going to have perhaps a reset of the clock here. They're going to adjust the shot clock, so they'll have 31 now to work with.
Yeah, Malik Fields' dad, Courtney, who played for Jeff Ruland at Iona, was so excited for senior night tonight. He came over to the table looking for your autograph. Was that the first autograph you signed?
Well, there's been a few others. I don't want to brag. You know, there's only so much time we want to eat up here, Andrew, on the broadcast. As Fields goes towards the corner and is short, but yet another opportunity here. This has been a huge storyline. And I did fulfill the wishes of Courtney Fields. So Malik will remember me, hopefully, when he goes on to bigger and better things at all different types of levels. I'm still waiting for the Cardinal to ask me for an autograph. Then my life will come full circle and be complete.
Now, if they start giving out NIL money to play-by-play with guys, you'd be all set.
Well, I certainly would like to throw my name into the hat there if you'd like to be my agent and representative. As notice the Cardinal quieting down the crowd as we're talking about perhaps me getting a little bit of a kickback, and Fields puts in the first.
Now, you did not lock your car. Is that how they got the Target costume?
The colorful characters that the student body showcases never disappoints. But you got to be quiet here for Fields underneath your own bucket. You don't want to distract him, and it seems as if they may have gotten the better of Fields, as that's another 1-for-2 trip to the line for him. So unfortunately, that 60% is going to dip a little bit that we talked about. Washington trying to create some space as we see Teo Nathan in for the first time, the 6'6" sophomore.
He can actually step out and shoot threes. Coach says he has a very bright future. What a block by Fields.
Well, Washington can't step into the lane thanks to Malik doing it all. And he gets a wide open opportunity and give it to him. 4 threes and counting. The senior is not leaving anything to chance here on senior day.
He should shoot those free throws from 21 feet, Lance. He loves those spots on the wing and corner.
Ball is going to be last touch here by Earl Monroe. It's amazing, Andrew, and I'm sure you've seen it through your coaching career. So many great three-point shooters don't necessarily match the execution at the free throw line. It's bizarre to me.
Yeah, and it also surprises me that so many guys at the higher levels, at the college and the NBA level, shoot under 55%. I mean, it just amazes me that with no one on you, you're from 15 feet, you've played basketball your whole life, that you can't get the percentage up around 70.
And I don't know, maybe it's out of the natural flow of motion and perhaps the stoppage of play, the silence, the environment. I mean, we could point to a variety of different things. Not to say that Malik Fields, by the way, does not work on this craft on a daily basis.
He's an excellent player, and he's the type of player, too. He could hit the next 20, and all of a sudden his shooting percentage will be there. I have no doubt. And by the way, if I was coaching this team, I would have no problem putting him on the line for a technical foul, because you know big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that's Malik. He did it last year in the playoffs.
And there he hits both. So apparently he's listening from up close and personal.
He can hear us.
19 points for Fields in the first half alone, as Barry got a piece of that.
And I'm not very good at math, but it looks like Cardinal Hayes is on pace for 100 right now, Lance.
Well, you should not doubt your mathematical skills. I don't know how you pulled that quick equation out of your hat, but at 50 with 30 seconds to go in the first half and making the assumption that they're on pace for 100, you clearly minored in math.
Cardinal Hayes Common Core math, pregame.
As Barry got a piece of the ball and the hand, so that will go against him. Did you take math classes at Hobart?
English major, did not have to take math.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we got some closure on that front.
Last math class was from Rich Castellano, the legendary girls basketball coach out at Northport High School, who has almost 800 wins. Maybe he's over 800 now, I don't know. They're undefeated right now in the Northport girls program out there on the island. He was my math teacher, and I still have the textbook. I still haven't returned the textbook. He reminds me every time I see him.
Well, we'll keep that under wraps, so this way perhaps you won't get an overdue charge from the high school librarian at some point, in case they're listening to this broadcast.
Here we go. Hayes holding for the last shot. Look for a go screen from Fields. There it is.
Motivar sets up Fields, and his fifth three nearly rolled in, but Barry taps it in for an exclamation point at the buzzer. Exquisite timing for Amadou after the rollout from Fields, and it is going to be 52-18 here at the break, as that is quite the performance for Cardinal Hayes, with Barry putting it through on the ring around the rosy And, Coach, I think we should start with that last bucket that Fields couldn't put in,
Right.
and then Barry, perfect timing. It just seems like the relentlessness on the offensive glass has been such a huge tone setter today.
Oh, yeah, we're excited, man. We, senior night, we got all of our fans here, high energy. So the guys are doing a great job of, showing that we're playing at a high level.
John, now listen, I know why Coach Load sent you over here, right? Because so I could ask you this question. Do you physically demonstrate the alley-oop plays in practice? Because I know Coach Loads can't do that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, good. That's what I wanted to ask you.
Absolutely.
You mentioned, Joe, about the energy on senior day. I mean, how much do you think Malik Fields is feeding off of that? 19 points in the first half alone and literally rebounding, scoring, block shots.
Yes.
You name it, he's put his stamp all over this game.
He's been a guy for us all season, right? So we go as he goes. The leadership, the consistency, the toughness, right? We follow him. It's not always going to be his best shooting night, some nights, but he's going to be the consistent driving force in order for us to win games.
Yeah, and Coach, I just want to compliment you on all you do for this program. I mean, we get here early. I see you doing the walkthroughs. I know you get up early to get these guys in the gym.
Correct.
I know Coach Loads appreciates you and trusts you. I saw you were standing up at St. Ray's when you were coaching that game. And having you do this interview says a lot about your program and how you guys work together. So thank you.
Absolutely. Shout goes out to Coach Loads. You know what I mean? Like, Coach Loads allowed me to coach, allow me to be myself, allow me to help these guys, and, without any ego. We both are feeding off each other. He's been phenomenal to me, you know what I mean, and allowed me to really show what I bring to the table and galvanize the group.
We'll let you get back to work with Suleiman Cohn and Naz Campbell to see who can maybe beat up the rim a little bit more in the second half.
We need more dunks.
Absolutely. Best of luck in the second half. Appreciate the time as always, Coach. As 52-18 is the score here at the break in favor of Cardinal Hayes. They put on quite the offensive show. I just alluded to this. The alley-oop to Cohn, and they were not through there because everybody joined the party. Yancey to Campbell, as that got the crowd up in a frenzy underneath the basket. As we take another look, who needs the basketball players when you have energy from the student body? It's all Cardinal Hayes at the break here in the Bronx on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
High School Sports Network.
We live in a community in which every other option is available except the right option. And this school became the right option for me. My mom said to me, all I want from you is for you to graduate from Patrick Cathedral. Y gracias a Dios, en el clase de 2017, yo me caminé en el San Patricio y vi los ojos de mi madre. Yo llorando la abracé y le dije gracias por esta oportunidad.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights. But how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now. Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And here he comes again. Off the backboard! Are you serious?
Daly tries another three. That one's good. One from the left corner, now from the right. Daly's on fire with 10 points in the opening quarter.
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media SPORTSCAST today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
The core of what we do is informed by our Catholic faith.
Faith is something that permeates the building.
I would say a majority of our students are not Catholic.
I myself am not a practicing Catholic.
Even though the kids may not be Catholic, they're being formed by those character building values that come from the Gospels, that come from what Jesus taught us.
We really leaned into our faith and our perseverance of Hayes and all its loyal men.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job of exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
And we are back here in Cardinal Hayes High School as we get ready for the start of the second half. 52-18 is the score, and Andrew, quite the first half for the senior, one of the two at least, Malik Fields.
5 of 8 from the free throw line, not bad. 1 of 3 from 2, 4 of 9 from 3, 19 points. And he really did a good job attacking the glass, and his teammates too. I mean, you had Brown getting hot, Yancey coming in off the bench. Amadou Barry a little quiet in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to an early set here to get him involved. Backdoor play to Bird.
And Bird is denied at the rim as Wilson was there to get a piece of it. Here's Henry with the double clutch scoop and a much needed bucket for Earl Monroe to start the third quarter. So we'll see whether or not Jared Rivers' team can cut into this deficit, as Fields drawing plenty of attention here with Washington.
They're throwing an early double at Fields. That's a good idea. Get the ball to the big man early in the second half.
And Barry gets it to bounce through as he has 6.
Barry's one of those guys that can go from quiet to loud in a hurry as well. When he gets hot, he can score at all 3 levels.
As Henry is able to split 2 defenders, you had Bird and Campbell sandwiching him.
Yeah, there was a nice aggressive drive by Chase Henry, as you see it here. A little crossover dribble, spin dribble, gets through the defense and draws the contact. Henry, the transfer from Sacred Heart, where he helped them win a state title.
That foul went against Campbell, his first. Yeah, it was their first state title in 3 decades that he helped lead them to. Also their first city title in 3 decades, and the team posted its best record in program history. So he left his mark on that Sacred Heart program in Yonkers, and now all of a sudden is helping to spark this Earl Monroe team as they have 20 wins coming in. And we talked about this off the top of the broadcast. They have played a very tough schedule. Jared Rivers said he wanted to play the best on Long Island. Is off the steal. Bayako cannot get it cleanly to Washington. Campbell through the heart of the defense, rolls it home, and Nas is finding alleys up and down this defense.
Yeah, Coach Rivers, they lost to Hills East, which is usually a perennial power out in Suffolk. St. Mary is always a good team out of the Catholic League. Lehigh B, and the Stony Brook School, which is a talented team.
As Bayako uses the scoop shot to bank it home. We have seen the offense pick up a little bit here for the Knights as Fields gets caught underneath the bucket. Barry, the contested jumper, and he was contacted as he put it up. So he'll head to the line.
Yeah, you see here, Fields kicks it out to the big man. Nice shot fake by Barry. Draws the contact on the elbow on the 15-footer. And now he gets 2 more 15-footers.
Barry, 83% from the line this season. He was 20 of 24, so you can make it out 21 of 25. He had 9 points and 7 rebounds in the loss at Holy Cross.
Oh my gosh.
You don't see that very often. Man, he completely forgot what side of the court he was on. So off the missed free throw, he puts it in and aids the Cardinal Hayes cause as we take another look here.
I have not seen that in a varsity game. Man, he just got a little disorientated. It happens.
So Cardinal Hayes has scored 57. Man, he has scored 2.
We're gonna have
Fields is gonna give it up to Campbell, who this time cannot stuff it home.
We're gonna have to ask our in-home statistician for the day, Dylan Butler, who gets credit for that bucket.
Well, right now I would lean towards Barry to get credit for it, as he was the last one to at least touch it off the missed free throw. But we will await final word from the official statistician. Did you give him that title, Dylan Butler, or did he throw that upon himself?
Well, he doesn't need to do that.
No, he doesn't. That's why I was just curious what the process was like.
Yeah, he's got a lot of titles, and they're all good.
Nobody would dispute that at all. He's also very crafty at getting food for the rest of the crew when he is here present at Cardinal Hayes, we should mention, as our producer Chris Sweetie smiles from ear to ear since he was involved in that process as well. we just, we like to remind them of all of the good deeds that they perform both in and out of this building. As Almodovar will now head to the free throw line.
When you're with Dylan Butler at St. Francis Prep 2, membership has its privileges. Get treated like royalty there.
It pays to be a member of the alma mater, I take it.
Yep.
Do you get that treatment at Hobart?
I went back for my alumni game a few weeks ago. It was really
that's
nice.
why I asked, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Did
a
they
lot
lay out the red carpet for you?
A little bit of we got our Uncle Joe's wings. New York pizza.
Very nice.
That's all I needed.
Not a materialistic person. It's the small things. As Blazin initially loses control of the ball, and they continue to attack the rim here. And this is going to be free throw attempts coming up for Blazin, the junior forward, who averages 8 points a game as we look at him able to collect it, and then a little give and go here with Washington.
That was a great interior bounce pass by Elijah Washington.
So Bird picks up the personal. This is the first attempt at the line for Blazin. As we see the target going to work underneath to distract him, and they're going to get an A+ score for that one. So Blazin cannot capitalize, and Fields had a monster first half, right now facilitating the pull-up jumper. And it rebounded initially by Washington, and it goes right into the hands of Blazin, who's doing a little bit of everything as he takes it coast to coast, and you can wave that off. An offensive foul, the senior Campbell sacrificing his body.
Yeah, you got to love that on senior night. Naz Campbell is stepping in to take a charge. Not only is he a great defender, he's been with the program all 4 years. He's a good student. He's a great team player. He's been coming in off the bench to give this team a spark the entire year. Happy for Naz Campbell as you see it get rewarded on the other end, right?
Little soft touch on that one.
Yeah.
As he didn't want to beat up the rim too bad. Blazin got the feed up ahead there to Wilson. And Earl Monroe has had some point-blank range opportunities, just cannot capitalize and finish at the rim, as we see Jared Rivers getting some substitutions in as Ugabala and Johnson will return to action.
Yeah, you look at the roster that Coach Rivers has, a lot of juniors, sophomores. They have the formula to be a very successful program next season. Not to say they're not this year. They're 20-4. They're doing well in their league. They have a chance to make some noise in the playoffs.
They have 3 seniors on the roster, Johnson, Wilson, and Chin Edwards, as Cardinal Hayes trying to get into the corner to chase after the loose ball. And it will stay with the Cardinals as it was the last touch by Johnson. So Campbell will do the honors here. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Cardinal Hayes to milk additional time. As Brown, Barry, Campbell, Fields, and Almodovar, the 5 currently in. And Barry tried to stuff it into Fields, and off the steal, perhaps a chance for a good look. After the fake pass, McQueen short. Brandon McQueen, the 6'2 sophomore who moved up to varsity mid-year, and Campbell is going to head back to the line as he was fouled by Johnson.
Yeah, when you see this, just great court vision by Malik Fields with a little behind the back to his partner, Naz Campbell, senior to senior. Campbell goes to the line. Talking about Earl Monroe, I mean, they lost to the Charter School of Excellence the last 2 years from Yonkers. CSEE is the winner of the Hudson Valley, and Coach was saying that there's a possible chance for a rematch this year if things go well. Last year, Monroe lost to Hayes by 12 points. And it looks like they have plans to schedule this game every year.
Yeah, this is the 3rd straight year this game is taking place as Campbell misses both. And they were up by 12 at one point, then down by 18 as Brown shot blocked from behind by McQueen, so we'll stay with Cardinal Hayes. So it was a game that went back and forth last season, but Jared Rivers likes the fact that this gives his team a late tune-up as they get ready for the postseason. Stepping out of play was McQueen, so the turnovers continuing to pile. And the top 4 teams in the Charter School Athletic Association from the Bronx make the playoffs, and then the winner, as you were mentioning, will then meet the winner of Hudson Valley. That's how the Charter School postseason bracket is structured. Yancey leaving it for Fields, turns and fires. Barry nearly had a piece of it, and here we quickly come back the other way with Johnson pulling up with a man in his face, and the second chance opportunity by Ugabala will not fall through. So that has been a theme, unfortunately, for Earl Monroe. Brown off the crossover, in and out. Campbell looking to clean it up, and he continues to muscle his way around the rim.
Campbell's playing with so much energy tonight. He's enjoying senior night. He's loving being on the floor with his teammates, and he's running the court. He's doing a little bit of everything.
That's exactly what Cardinal Hayes is doing. The extra feed underneath to Campbell off the hands of Yancey. Naz Campbell is a man on a mission here on senior day, and him and Malik Fields have been doing a great deal of the heavy lifting. With a timeout here on the floor in the third quarter, we look at them going to work in the half-court set. Yancey finds Campbell underneath as he is well in double figures. And with a stop in the action, we want to remind you that Cardinal Hayes High School is committed to providing an outstanding faith-based college preparatory education that prepares young men for success in college and beyond. Your support of tuition assistance ensures that every student has access to rigorous academic, strong mentorship, and life-changing opportunities. By scanning this code, you are making a direct impact on the future of our students and our community. Thank you for your generous donation to Cardinal Hayes High School today. And we want to thank once again Cardinal Hayes High School for welcoming us in to their backyard all throughout the course of this regular season, with this being the last regular season game before the playoffs start. And this team is not disappointed, with Malik Fields and Naz Campbell each scoring in double figures, and the rest of their teammates just finding opportunity after opportunity to keep them heavily involved. So out of the timeout here, it's going to be Earl Monroe basketball, as they'll have to go the length of the court. And Cardinal Hayes once again implementing the full court press, which has been a huge part of their identity. And Chin Edwards tries to get out of the trap, and that leads to a jump ball. And the possession arrow will stay in favor of the Knights, with Bayako, their leading scorer on the season, coming in, replacing McQueen.
You know, knowing Coach Rivers, he wants Hayes, I know this sounds strange, he wants Hayes to continue to press so he can continue to work on press breaks heading into playoff time. This only makes his team better. He's probably not going to see this type of pressure in the charter school schedule, and it's really, really good experience for his club.
As Washington got over the midcourt line, but then coughed it up because of the stinginess on D by Christian Brown and company. So Cardinal Hayes had 52 at the break. They've scored 13 here in the third. Barry was open, but Bayako got a hand in the passing lane, and then a foul committed by Cardinal Hayes. Campbell came in with the block. Here's Bayako off the crossover. The runner swatted away by Brown. As we talk so much about the offense, how about the defense? On point for Cardinal Hayes. Yancey can't get it to fall through. Barry there on the offensive glass. The first time no good, but the second time cashes in, as Amadou Barry making his presence felt where he has made a huge name for himself this season.
Yeah, what's interesting about that play, he was the one who got the defensive rebound on this end. The ball did not touch the ground. 3 different players touched it. He ran the floor, got the offensive rebound, and put it back in. That's Hayes basketball right there.
There's Bayako off the double clutch. It goes right into the hands of Barry, who leaves it for Brown. Up top for Fields, and he lays it in as the ball barely touched the ground on that. Give and take across the board for Cardinal Hayes.
It's obvious that Coach Loads and Coach Hawthorne and the crew, they work on their primary break in practice. They work on getting the ball out of the net or off the rim and up court. Their guards run the floor. It's really fun to watch.
The other thing that I would add to your observation, Andrew, about Barry is not only does he keep the ball straight around the rim, but he doesn't bring it back down and allow the guards to swipe at it, which is a huge key component that big man struggle with. Yancey switches hands, and how about that nifty finish plus the harm? He'll have a chance for yet another three-point play.
Bryce Yancey is just so impressive as an athlete. The jab step goes left, elevates, finishes with the left, primarily a righty, can finish with both hands around the rim. Going for, you heard the announcer, going for the three the old-fashioned way.
Yancey has been so good attacking the basket today and capitalizing, and that three-point play will count for him as he puts through the free throw. We talked about how solid he was in the last game, 64% on the season. And Yancey has hit all three today. Chin Edwards, too hard off the glass, and the follow, plus the foul by Yuga Bala, the freshman, making an impact on varsity this year in the second half of the season, and he was able to crash the offensive glass.
Huge upside potential. You see here, Chin Edwards puts it off the glass. Ukabala stays with it, gets rewarded, gets hit, finishes through contact.
We saw on the replay, Fields had a hand on his midsection. And how about three bounces? And unfortunately, it does not carry him his way.
The 6'5" freshman has a very bright future here at Monroe. Huge upside potential.
And back the other way, Yancey gets in the mix of things to prevent the highlight reel play by Bayako, who is trying to stuff it home.
Yeah, Bayako's a great athlete. You see him accelerate, elevate off 2 feet. He had a chance to dunk that if Yancey didn't get involved.
Yancey tried to keep both hands straight up, but got a piece of the arm as well. As Bayako, the leading scorer on the season for Earl Monroe. We talked with Jared Rivers. He called him a high-flying downhill driver, and I think he lived up to that label thus far today. And he's receiving interest from some D3 programs, including SUNY Farmingdale.
Yeah, Coach Toomey, Coach Racefield out at Farmingdale, they'd be happy to have him. Hey, I do have from our official statistician, if a player scores in the wrong basket on goal, the points are credited to the opposing team, but not the player who shot it. Instead, the basket goes to the player who's closest to the ball. When our statistician looked back, Bird was closest to the ball from Hayes, so Bird will get credit for those 2 points.
Well, there you go, as that one rolls around the rim and in for Washington, as he was able to showcase the range. And back the other way, Christian Brown does not waste any time.
Christian Brown spends so many hours in the gym. It's nice to see him rewarded with a night like he's having tonight. Gets in the gym early in the morning with Coach Hawthorne. Gets his shots up before and after practice.
Pull-up jumper by Yuga Bala. Off the mark, and Brown look at the push as he gets the feedback from Yancey. Slashing and swishing it in off glass right at the end of the third quarter. Highlights galore in this game as Cardinal Hayes is taking full advantage of the clock. And this is the latest. Christian Brown in and out of traffic to take it home over the river and through the way to Grandma's house on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
The core of what we do is informed by our Catholic faith.
Faith is something that permeates the building.
I would say a majority of our students are not Catholic.
I myself am not a practicing Catholic.
Even though the kids may not be Catholic, they're being formed by those character building values that come from the Gospels, that come from what Jesus taught us.
We really leaned into our faith and our perseverance of Hayes and all its loyal men.
Back here in the Bronx at Cardinal Hayes High School, senior day, start of the fourth quarter with the Cardinals taking care of business here, 77-31, and Malik Fields and Nas Campbell have been putting on quite the show as Earl Monroe here in possession to start the fourth. And quick to the hoop off the scoop maneuver is Amari Bird. And thanks to that athletic display, he's going to head to the line.
You know what's nice about that? He's known as a shooter, a guy who can really break zones, but he was clearly aggressive on that. It's nice to see him attacking the rim. You know, Lance, when we get ready for these games, we talk to the head coaches, and both of them were quick to tell us just how important their assistant coaches are. For Coach Lodes, you have John Hawthorne, who we spoke with at halftime, Brandon Brown, Kenny Adelke. They do such a great job for this program. On the other side, for Coach Rivers, Mr. James Ennis, he's so valuable to the program. Coach complimented him. He handles a lot of the statistics, the social media. So kudos to those assistant coaches. I can tell you this, they don't do it for the money. They don't get paid a lot. They do it to develop student athletes.
Well, Brown is not getting paid a lot now, but perhaps later on in his career he will, as he dials it up again and pushes through another trifecta. Washington too hard off the glass, and here comes Fields. Running point, the bullet feed broken up by Bird, and Bird may have another chance here. He leaves it down low for Bayako, and Fields got a piece of it. So Atariwa up the court to Campbell, who flushes it in for a deuce as he is leaving his mark all over this gymnasium on senior day.
Future senior nights may be named the Nas Campbell Senior Night at Cardinal Hayes, and here's
Fields?
Malik Fields rising.
And stuffing it in as well. Opportunity after opportunity. And the crowd once again on its feet to show these two guys some love. And Campbell perhaps is going to lead the break again. Nas flipping it underneath to Romero. And the loose ball still being fought for. Atariwa had it. And it gets into the hands of Bird. Cardinal Hayes, every time they get a defensive stop, they don't hesitate. Bird in and out. As you see again, Fields quickly turning and looking ahead. Brown for three. Rebounded by Campbell. Can't get the first try to go as Brown stepped out of play. And it is going to head back to the Knights as we'll have hockey line-esque changes here for Earl Monroe. With Gibbs back in, as well as McQueen, Shin Edwards, Yuga Bala, and rounding out the group is Sosa. As Fields is going to pick up the personal in the backcourt, reaching in. That is his third and the team's second. Cardinal Hayes averages 78 points per game, so they clearly have surpassed that number. And they may be knocking on the door of the century mark when it's all said and done, as that three is going to count, plus the foul for Brandon McQueen, the sophomore, absorbing the contact and following through.
Yeah, the underclassmen from Monroe bring so much to the table. You see McQueen here pop into the corner, getting the feet set, getting hit on the three, keeping his concentration, knocking it down. Chance for a 4-point play.
His first basket of the day.
McQueen is a three-level scorer. You saw him demonstrate his ability to hit the three on that one. Gets to the basket, has a nice mid-range game.
So a 4-point play for him to get on the board for the first time today. As we're seeing that 2-3 zone being employed by the Knights. Campbell with the left hand, and he is able to roll it through once again. So crafty around the rim.
I think that was Fields. No? Was that Fields or Campbell?
That was Fields.
Yep.
As Earl Monroe trying to settle down here on the offensive end. Another good look straight away, but this time it does not fall through for McQueen. Malik looking to create himself. Atariwa got a piece of it. As Gibbs is going to bounce it forward. The extra pass and an air ball put up by Nathan, and the crowd lets him hear about it. We talked about the length for Nathan and how his youth will pay off in the end. They are grooming him for years to come, as this is just year 2 for him. And it's only his first year on varsity. So still in the developmental phase. Campbell from way downtown. And Atariwa crashes the offensive glass as the tight end on the football field using that skill set to his advantage, and Fields pushing it through to ring up another trifecta.
Yeah, Saleh Atariwa is so athletic and active. He's got offers from UConn, Temple, Syracuse. He's a force to be reckoned with on the basketball court as well.
Shin Edwards cannot capitalize. Atariwa the rebound. And Campbell was thinking about the 3. And will wisely give it up. Fields has 4 trays. And Atariwa is going to clean it up again. So the touch feed back out to Campbell. And another second chance. Offensive glass working wonders for Cardinal Hayes in this game.
It was one of the points of emphasis. Coach Lodes wanted them to attack the glass in this game. It was one of the keys to the game, and they certainly have done that the entire game, Lance.
Fields up top, and Campbell just cannot hammer it home. But maybe he'll get a look from beyond the arc. As Fields and Campbell have not taken their foot off the pedal. Shin Edwards going reverse, and he will head to the free throw line. So Malik Fields has hit 4 threes. Brown has hit 5 as we look at the foul drawn by Shin Edwards. Atariwa reaching in at the last second.
Yeah, Atariwa got him on that one. Good job by Shin Edwards drawing the contact and not being scared of the big tight end from the football team.
And he will now take a seat. Bird will replace him. It's Bird, Fields, Yancey, Cone, and Campbell, the 5 in for Cardinal Hayes. And as everybody but Shin Edwards gets back on defense. And now we're going to see Washington re-enter the game for the Knights.
At some point I would anticipate Fields and Campbell coming out to an ovation.
Well, they've got 3 minutes still to toy with here. This ball was deflected out of play. It will stay with Cardinal Hayes. And that 3-pointer followed through by Suleiman Cone, who has a dunk to complement that tray. From the corner, the long-range shooting for Brandon McQueen is not disappointed. He's got 7 points on the day. Yancey to the rim, and Yancey draws more contact. As we're going to take a look at Yancey just weaving in and out of traffic, and then you see Nathan got a piece of his back.
Yeah, that was a great look to Campbell. You know, Hayes has played 7 games in 10 days. They might have been just a little bit out of gas against Holy Cross the other day in that loss, Lance. But it looks like they are fully in rhythm today in this, their last regular season contest. And there's the ovation for Naz Campbell, the senior. What a great night he had tonight. Got rewarded for all of his hard work. You could see the crowd giving him an ovation. He's been a tough kid the entire year, does all the little things, and great to see him have a good night on senior night, Lance.
Only averages 3.5 points, but boy, he quadrupled that and then some on the afternoon.
And he does so much for the team, his energy, his effort, the hustle points he brings to the table that don't show up in the scorebook at night in, night out.
Fields for the century mark, and you could give it to him. Malik has been cooking from start to finish, and it's the 3rd time this season Cardinal Hayes has scored at least 100 in a game.
They also had a game which they had 96 points in a loss against Jefferson. They can score in bunches.
And Cone is perhaps looking to slam it home yet again. He's going to leave it to Fields, and he will facilitate instead. As Earl Monroe back the other way with Nathan using his lengthy reach. 107 is their season high. Fields, how about another? And instead, Nathan and company with McQueen there for the rebound, secure it.
Hopefully they can get Fields an ovation here. Looks like Romero's coming in.
As Nathan up and in on the baby hook. 107 came against Ossining. They scored 102 against Brandeis, and both of those games were here at home. From the corner is Bird. And a long rebound to Bayako.
Good.
And they're going to foul accordingly so that they could stop the clock. And Emmanuel Romero is at the scorer's table, so it looks as if this is going to do it for Malik Fields as he gets hugs and handshakes well-earned from his teammates. The last regular season home game for Malik Fields. And he did not miss a beat.
Now, what a legacy he leaves here. His name goes right down with all the other great players that have played here at Cardinal Hayes.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Romero replacing Fields, the student body giving him a standing ovation. Even the target trying to get his hands together around that cumbersome outfit. The effort is across the board at this place.
Just an outstanding career from Malik Fields. Battle-tested senior, ready for the playoff run, plays under control, does a little bit of everything for this team. And it's going to be an exciting playoff for this Cardinal Hayes team.
And Romero off the bench, picking up where the seniors left off.
He can really shoot the basketball. I was with him in pregame, watching him get some shots up. Shot after shot, had that same rotation. He's going to be a really good player for Hayes next year.
It's a small sample size, but 58% from downtown this season. So definitely exciting to see what he could do with a bit of a larger workload.
Yeah, he's 58%, 59% from 2, 58 from 3, and 100% from the free throw line.
As Amari Bird, the junior guard, at the line. All of his points coming from the line today. And he misses both there. Yancey drawing the double, and Romero's able to pick it up, and that is going to be another foul against Earl Monroe, just their second though.
All you want to see for both teams now is that you get out of the gym with no injuries, so you can have a healthy roster heading into the playoffs.
Yancey lobs it up to Sam, who just can't roll it through. And then it went off of Sam last. As Czech Sam, we talked about how impressive his play has been as of late because of his 6'4" frame and athleticism, but the timing just a tad off between Yancey and Sam. McQueen did not get enough on that. Romero's gonna go up for the lay-in, and Romero now has a triple and a two-pointer to put the finishing touches on this one. As a late whistle called here, and since Cardinal Hayes is over the limit, we're gonna have free throws coming. So they have matched their season high of 107. They will get another possession here. We'll see what they choose to do with it to perhaps untie the knot on senior day, as this is Charles Gibbs Jr., the junior forward, a transfer from Mount St. Michael. Another one of their sharpshooters off the bench, and it's been a rough day at the charity stripe for the fellow Bronx school, which is just in its 4th year of existence. They just graduated their first class a year ago, so still building the foundation here.
Raymond Gennard graduated last year playing at Malloy for Joe Conifrey. There'll be more players coming from this program that play in college.
Yancey puts up the three, and that is going to do it. 107-48 the final, as Cardinal Hayes on Senior Day puts on an offensive clinic to improve to 17-7 and 10-2 here at home, as they now gear up for a postseason run. And Malik Fields and Naz Campbell were both impressive from start to finish, as we are going to hear from one of the two seniors, as we will get post-game reaction, as Naz Campbell is going to come over, put on quite the performance from start to finish. Naz, first of all, congratulations to you and the team on a nice way to wrap up the regular season. I don't know if you left any of the rim still standing after you beat them up quite nicely, but let's start with, from a big picture perspective, you and Malik did not disappoint. What were the emotions like coming into this game, and how meaningful was it for the two of you specifically to put the finishing touches on this game?
The emotions was really hard. I wanted to cry. I got my brothers here. I've been here for 4 years. Feel me? I be bullying them every day and stuff, but I really love these guys. These guys are really my brothers, for real, for real. They keep me up every day, no matter what I go through, up and downs. I mean, not playing a lot, but they still got my back whenever I'm up for ready, so I'm always ready for them.
Yeah, I just want to compliment you, Naz. I've watched you play the whole year. You bring energy to this team. It doesn't always show up in the scorebook, but it shows up in all those hustle points and all the other things you do. Hey, what's your best memory from playing Cardinal Hayes basketball?
This moment right here, this is the best memory I got for Hayes, the senior night.
Good. We're glad you were able to enjoy it.
How fun is it to just get everybody involved in a game like this, and really everybody spread the wealth, whether it's the underclassmen, you and Malik, because it just seemed as if you made a concerted effort to have your teammates share in this senior day?
This senior day wasn't just about me and Malik. This is just for just get us ready for the playoffs, just have fun right now. This is our fun right now. It's time to get serious, business time this week and Saturday. It's time to get this dubs.
So the million-dollar question, and maybe your teammates want to weigh in, who had the better dunk, you or Suleiman Kohn today? I don't know. I think the jury is still out.
Yeah, I feel like I had the better dunk.
You had the better. Well, that's what I would expect. I'd expect that only answer here for the senior, as Kohn points to himself. Well, my last thing to you is I hope you enjoy perhaps getting wet, because it's been a tradition here, and I'm sure your teammates are not reliving that. We just ask you take the headset off first before you enjoy the fun. But
watch the hair. Watch the hair.
Oh, and stay away from the equipment.
Congratulations again, Naz. Thank you so much. You got it. And right on point. See, I was just giving the teaser. They actually have done a very good job prioritizing the equipment before we wrap up the interview. So I wasn't too worried, as Chris Sweeney, our producer, shivered a little as I mentioned what may be coming. And just a great scene overall, Andrew, to see Naz Campbell and Malik Fields. And once again, we've seen it all throughout this season. You know, I love how they all come over in the postgame. They all support one another. It may be a one-man show in the statistics, but it's a shared, joyous occasion from top to bottom.
Yeah, and on this team, different guys can get you on different nights, and that's the way Coach Lodes wants it. When you're going up against a team like Hayes heading into the playoffs, they're really difficult to scout. Everyone knows about Malik Fields, but on any given night, a guy like Campbell or Yancey or Suleiman Kohn or Brown, they can get you. And they all know their role and they play their part. And there's a lot of good teams. This Catholic League playoff is going to be really exciting. We've seen Prep, we've seen Iona Prep, we've seen all these different teams, obviously Stepanak. It's going to be a really fun playoff, and I hope everyone watches Varsity Media to see the finals.
Absolutely, as you can stay locked to the Varsity Media Sports Network for all the post-game action as we take a look at Malik Fields and Naz Campbell still taking it all in. This is how Senior Day festivities started. They and their family members on hand, and then from there, it was just a clinic in putting the ball in the hole. Malik Fields showcasing his range. Yancey to Campbell with the hammer. And from that point on, one highlight after another as everybody shared in the wealth, shared in the enthusiasm. Even the Cardinal loved it and did not take off the mask, which we certainly commend them for. It has been a fun ride all throughout the regular season, as that is going to wrap up our regular season production here from the Bronx. The executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney, our camera operator, Kevin Catalano, For Andrew Deloya, I'm Lance Meadows signing off from the Bronx. The final score, 107-48 in favor of Cardinal Hayes as they go off into the postseason all smiles with an impressive victory on the Varsity Media Sports Network.